Hey guys, welcome to another MSM video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jeremy and I am really happy that you joined us for this video. Before we get into this week's content, let's do a quick recap and that'll get you up to speed if you didn't see our first video last week. This project is the Danchee Ridgerock project where I am throwing the kitchen sink at it. I am doing a major transformation on this RC, taking it from a very fun and pretty competent entry-level RTR crawler and turning it into an LCG monster. So go back and watch that first video to get all the details. I will have that video as an end card at the end of this video. Let's get into this week's content. So the build has begun, and I started off by assembling the LCG chassis. This is a remarkable LCG chassis. It's really radical in its shape and its layout. It's got an angled skid. It's got very long rear links, very short front links. I'm super excited to see how this thing performs. The kit went together really easily. All the links, rod ends went on easily. This is a kit I had sitting, I've had it for a while, just sitting up on a shelf, waiting to be used. And yeah, I don't remember where I got it, but yeah, it's cool. I like it. And I think if you cruise the internet, you can probably find similar examples of this kit. I did find some things during mockup that will provide a little bit of a challenge, but I'll get to that when I discuss the mockup. I'll just finish by saying that I'm excited about this chassis. I think it looks really cool. I'm really stoked on how easily it went together. And yeah, it's going to be the heart of this build. And so we'll see how it performs. Next up were shocks. I grabbed a set of DriveTech clones that I had in my parts box. 96 millimeter, interesting layout. I like how they're laid out. I will have to move the front shocks a little bit, I think. As I said, I have some mock-up issues, so I'll talk about that shortly. But yeah, these shocks are tried and true. I have them on a lot of my vehicles. Peter has them on a lot of his. They work really well. They're not as good as real DriveTechs, but this had to be done on a budget, so I had to use budget parts. So let's move on to wheels and tires. Wheels I chose for this project are a set of Racing beadlock wheels. These are really cool. They feature a design where the wheel nut is captured by the hex fitting. So you take the hex fitting off the wheel, you put the wheel nut in, you put the hex fitting back on top, screw it all together. Now you have no visible wheel nut. And so I thought that would be a really trick feature to show on this build. For tires, I went with a new set of J Concepts. They're called Rock Block, and I dig them. I really like them. I think they're really cool, and they're the soft compound. Yeah, I'm interested to see how these do on the rocks. I really like the look of them, and if they perform as good as they look, I'm going to be super happy. Next up is the old chassis. So all I'm really using from this build are the axles and the body. So I took the shocks off, I took the axles off and unconnected the electronics, put that off to the side. These axles are cool because they are MOA axles, which is motor on axle. And that's a really high-end crawler feature. You don't see that typically on entry-level RC crawlers. MOA is a very high-performance, very high-end style of axle. And what it does is it has the motor attached to the axle. It adds weight to the axle. It eliminates drive shafts. So you can have really wild suspension setup, and you're not constricted by drive shaft length, and the added weight helps with performance. So that's a key part of this next to the LCG chassis. So we're getting a performance chassis. We've got really high performance axles. It's all coming together to be a really competent crawler. I have new electronics on the way. When I drove this last week, I wasn't really pleased with the torque from the motors, so I have some 38 turn motors coming. Those I'm hoping will have more torque. I couldn't find like a 40 or 50 turn motor. I had to settle for these 38, so I'm hoping they work. I'm sure they'll be better than the stock ones, so those are on the way. And I've got a Hobby Wing ESC on the way that provides the ability to do a little bit of tuning. We can adjust drag brake, I believe. I'm hoping. I know most all Hobby Wing ESCs are programmable. I'm hoping this one is too. So those are on the way. Let's move on to mock-up. So at the end of the week, I took the chassis, I took the axles, I put it together, and I was able to see my progress. I was also able to see a couple issues that popped up. Most notably, the front lower links are too short and the rear upper links are a little bit too long. So I'll have to make some changes there. I think for the front links, I have a box full of links. So I'm sure I'll be able to find something that is longer that will work. As for the rear, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. I think my first option will be shorter rod ends and see if I can get some of the space I need taken up by that. There is another mounting hole on the chassis, so I might be able to move them forward, which will provide the shortening of the distance from the top of the axle to the rod end. So I'll work on that this week while we're waiting on electronics. That will be my task. Also, all the fasteners on this truck are like a very coarse grade Phillips screwdrivers, so I'm gonna have to drill out some of the mounting holes on the axles so I can use M2 and M3 hardware when I put this all together. I think this is a good place to end the video, so we'll wrap it up. Remember, please watch the videos at the end. I'll have 2 videos as end cards. One will be last week's video, so if you missed it, you can catch that up right away. The other will be LCG content. Check that out. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button. We appreciate you taking that extra step. It gives Peter and I really valuable feedback on how we decide what content to bring you. So that's going to do it. We'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.